Time now for your morning rush. A new lawsuit claims that CYFD had at least 8 chances to save a 4-year-old boy before he was killed. That suit, followed by the estate of James Dunkley Cruz, claims that APD and CYFD were called to an urgent care where James was injured in 2019. The suit says authorities would be called several times before that. In December of 2019, police say James was beaten to death by his mother's roommate.
New Mexico is now getting nearly $2 billion in pandemic relief money from the feds. The U.S. Treasury is sending $1.25 billion to New Mexico based on the number of unemployed here in the state, plus another $500 million. Some state lawmakers say that's not the governor's money to spend. They say under the state law that the legislature also has the right to allocate the federal money that comes into the general fund.
New details into the officer-involved shooting in Farmington. On Monday, officers were called after a report someone was firing a gun downtown. They say they ran into the suspect, who then they say pulled a gun. 4 officers opened fire. The man was shot and is being treated at the hospital. No officers were injured. Erica.
Here's a look at the drop-off forecast for this morning. Temperatures in the mid to upper 40s, so it is cool out there. Be sure to grab a jacket for at least the morning commute. If you're waking up on the east side of the state, you may want a rain jacket as well.
Video captured FBI agents raiding a New Mexico police department. Now, they were serving a federal search warrant yesterday at Lordsburg PD and taking boxes of evidence from the building. The Hidalgo County Herald reports that it's related to Operation Stone Garden, which provides funding for local agencies to help along the border. It's not clear why the feds are taking those documents.
The Albuquerque Solid Waste Department is making sure it's always a beautiful day in the neighborhood. The department released its latest episode of Talkin' Trash Tuesday. In it, they recreate Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. They remind people to be a good neighbor by making sure people are putting the correct items in their trash bins.
The state is now helping out businesses and community groups this morning with the on-site vaccination clinics. Groups that can gather at least 25 people for a pop-up clinic can qualify. The goal is to make it easier than ever for people to get vaccinated where they work or otherwise spend their time. We have a link to the request form at alwayson.krqe.com.
Federal prosecutors are fighting to use a suspect's murder charge against him in a separate immigration case. Luis Talamantes Romero allegedly shot Jackie Vigil at her Westside home back in 2019. Now, he's not been convicted in that case. However, he did plead guilty to entering the country illegally. Now, prosecutors are pushing the judge to take the murder charge into account during sentencing for that. Erica.
And here's a look at the Metro Threat Index for today. Low to moderate because we are seeing very windy conditions and chilly temperatures this morning. So be sure to grab a jacket, but by the afternoon, the winds will be calming down.
The upcoming Netflix expansion in Albuquerque is being called one of the top deals of the year. The Netflix expansion includes the construction of 10 additional sound stages, post-production facilities, offices, and more. The state says that it's close to a deal with a third studio. NBC Universal is also opening a studio in Martineztown.
Happening today, the Biopark Aquarium is opening to the public. The aquarium will open at 50% capacity under the turquoise level. You will see some new faces, including the newest otter named Dixon that arrived during the pandemic. Tickets must be bought in advance online.
Looking ahead, UNM is hosting its first in-person graduation since 2019 this weekend, but guests are not allowed in. Of the 3,500 students eligible to take part in the commencement, about 1,200 signed up. They'll be separated 6 feet apart in every other row. Saturday's commencement is being live streamed.
Bernalillo County is moving forward with the plans to build an affordable housing complex near the Sunport. The Gateway Apartments would be the first low-income housing development for the community. It sits at Mesa del Sol, a few miles south of the Sunport. The complex would include more than 300 apartments on its 14-acre site. Erica.
All right, let's get a look at the traffic. This morning, the maps are clear, no accidents or slowdowns as of now. And trackers currently going west on I-40 at Carlisle. It's going to be our typical traffic starting up soon, so have a safe drive as you're heading off to work.
We'll say goodbye to getting handfuls of sauce packets at a Chick-fil-A. That's right, the popular food chain announced that it's now having to limit the number of sauces that customers can get because of an industry-wide supply chain shortage. Sauces will now be limited to 1 packet per entree, 2 sauces per meal, and 3 sauces per 30-count nuggets.
Welcome back. On this date in 1883, a very long time ago, there is the first record of a tornado occurring in New Mexico. It occurred in Santa Fe, destroying and damaging multiple homes and businesses. And in hindsight, it likely would have been an F2 tornado. Time now for the 5 facts.
We start with number 5 here. Local scientists are giving us a look at a dinosaur that roamed North America 82 million years ago. Fossils of the Menifee-ceratops were discovered near Cuba, New Mexico back in 1996. Now, scientists from the Natural History and Science Museum have helped publish a new study. Researchers say horned dinosaurs were generally large, rhinoceros-like herbivores. They likely lived in groups of herds, and they were significant members to their ecosystems.
And number 4, the nation's leading infectious disease expert, Dr. Anthony Fauci, says that kids of all ages may be able to get the COVID-19 vaccine by the end of the year. The Pfizer vaccine was just authorized for use on kids ages 12 to 15 this week. During remarks in a Senate hearing on pandemic response yesterday, Dr. Fauci said that the clinical trials are now studying the effects of the vaccine on kids under 12.
And at number 3, we're waking up in the 40s this morning, but through the day, we'll eventually climb into the low 70s. A little bit cooler this afternoon by about 6 degrees from yesterday's highs.
And number 2, pleas from UNM graduates are to allow guests at this weekend's commencements may be falling on deaf ears because the university says its hands are tied. UNM is hosting its first in-person graduation since 2019 on Saturday, but guests are not allowed. Of the 3,500 eligible students, about 1,200 signed up. They'll be seated 6 feet apart in every other row. UNM says the planning took place in March when the county was in the yellow tier, while it's now in the turquoise. They say it's too late to expand the event. Saturday's commencement will be live streamed.
On to number 1 now. CYFD finds itself at the center of a new lawsuit claiming that it had at least 8 chances to save a 4-year-old boy before he was killed. The suit filed by the estate of James Dunkley Cruz claims that he lived a life of horrific neglect, physical and sexual abuse before his death in 2019. The allegations began just a day after he was born in 2015 when CYFD received a report that James was being emotionally abused by his mother, Krista Cruz, and living in filth. 2 months before his death in 2019, there was an urgent care visit where James was injured. In December of that year, police say that James was beaten to death by his mother's roommate, Zarek Marquez. Zarek is awaiting trial this morning. James's mother has not been charged for his death. CYFD has declined to comment on the lawsuit.